Good afternoon, everyone. It is Matt Allen here once again with the Allen Real Estate Team. I'm Matt Allen, and I am joined by a special guest today. This is Danielle Weinreb with Tomo Mortgage. We've talked to Tomo in the past, and they've got some really cool programs I want to go through today. We're going to keep this pretty short. I am going to just go through what's happening in the real estate market, and it's a crazy whirlwind market. Wouldn't you agree, Danielle?
It is crazy and it's always changing.
So on this roller coaster going on here in Central Florida, I'm going to run through the numbers from our Orlando board just so you can kind of see what's happening this week, but they were different last week. We are going through these highs and lows. This past week, we had a lot more sales. So we increased sales from the week before, and this data is from September 11th to September 17th. So pretty recent. Today is September 20th. So kind of give you a reference of what we're talking about. The median price for single family homes increased to 419,000. The number of sales increased to 390 for the week. And our inventory also increased throughout Central Florida. We're sitting at 5,162 homes. So this week we're on that upswing. Next week, we just don't know what's going on. And again, it's too little data to make any predictions, but I thought it'd be useful today to kind of go through some of the programs Tomo has, to combat these interest rates and things like that. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Danielle, let her talk a little bit about her lock and shop program, and they have got an appraisal program as well. So you're on.
Nice to see you as always, Matt.
Yes.
As you're saying, it's always ever changing. We don't have a crystal ball to know exactly what's going to happen, but the Fed is speaking tomorrow, Wednesday. So we definitely want to, put these programs in place to try and save these buyers as much money as we can. And, this is helpful for agents too. We really want to help them be able to help their buyers so that they obviously can generate some more closings as well. We all have the same goal in mind, buyer, agent, and lender. We want to get to the closing table. We want to save the buyer as much money as we can. So yes, as you listed, we do have our lock and shop program. This has been live for a couple of months, but we made some more updates given the market. It is trending upwards. Right now in Orlando, we are at about 6-ish. That's what we're looking at. Clearly depends specifics on, down payment, different type of purchase prices and credit scores and whatnot, but we are trending at the 6s. And, for anyone that wants to be able to have live rate updates, you can go to Tomo/rates, and you can go ahead and put your county in there.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So Tomo/rates or Tomo.com/rates.
Exactly. Yep. So
I got to try that out. That's great.
So it's a really helpful tool just to, if you're really curious to know what's going on, it's accurate. You have the option to put your purchase price in there. You have the option to go ahead and put your specific credit score. So we try and estimate it as properly as we can there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So like you were saying, we want to jump into lock and shop. It is live, but we wanted to go ahead and make some updates to it.
So somebody is out looking. I've got some new customers right now that are out looking, but they don't want to play the market of what's my rate going to be when I find a house type of thing. Yeah. So you can take it from there. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, exactly. So essentially this is really, really perfect for people like me who want to know exactly what they're going to be paying. There's anxiety that is attached to the climate of the market right now. So we want to give these buyers the financial security to go into it with confidence in knowing what they're going to be paying, what rate they're going to have. And they can do this for 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
So typical lock periods with a purchase contract range from 30 to 90. This is technically a longer period, ranging from 90 to 120 without a purchase contract. We do have a float down policy if it goes down to a certain percentage. There's detail of that on our website as well. And I'll give you any detail you need for that. But this is a really, really great program because we want to have the buyers' backs. This is great for people who have leases right now, who maybe their lease isn't up, but they know they don't want to rent afterwards. They can lock in the rate with us while they look around. Maybe it's a really, really hot market, competitive offers being put in place. They're not necessarily getting offers accepted. So this will just give them that confidence in knowing what they're going to be spending.
Yeah, terrific. And that's happening still here in Central Florida where, increased days on the market is happening, but there's still pockets where a house goes on the market and they've got 3 or 4 offers. So, it may take some time to find the right one for you. I just had a situation where a house had been on the market for 8 days with no offers. Over the weekend, they got 4 offers in. So,
Yep.
That program would help with, our rates are changing daily, to be able to secure that. Is there, I don't know if you talked about, is there a fee or how does that work?
Yes. So because of what the market has done, we know that monthly payments are more expensive. So again, we are adjusting our products to fit with the market and have the buyer's best interest. So it used to be an upfront fee. Now it is a $450 deposit. So you would pay this upfront to lock in your rate. Once you get to the closing table, that would go towards your closing costs. So subtract
Great.
450 from those. If for any reason we weren't able to give you acceptance, we would go ahead and give that 450 back, but you would have to get to the closing table with us. So if you decided to go elsewhere, then we would essentially keep that deposit.
Gotcha. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
as I want to try to keep this short, the other program that is pretty cool, and it's just been released here over the last probably 30 days or so, is their appraisal program. I'll let you kind of describe the name of it and how it all works.
Yeah, of course. So we did release our appraisal coverage program. This went live September 8th. It is a fantastic program. Again, wanting to make sure that the buyers aren't really spending outrageous amounts of money out of their pocket. So there are certain qualifications that we have to hit on this, which I'll go through slowly, but you have to put 10% down. This is to
Okay.
ensure that your loan to value and your equity will still be there on the back end. You have to go ahead and work with a certified agent. So Matt is certified because he and I have done a training on this before. You also have to be able to get a pre-approval with us. This is so we can ensure on the front end that we're not going to run into any bumps in the roads. This will give you, again, confidence in knowing if you'll be approved and how much you're approved for. Our loan team goes in and reviews your documents and everything so that we know exactly what we're getting into up front and all of your options. And the last thing is we run a collateral check. So perfect example, Matt, you're placing an offer tomorrow. You give me a call and you're like, Danielle, I'm putting an offer in on 1234 Main Street. I'll go ahead, get to the loan team. We'll run the collateral check. This is to ensure that there's no liens on the home, no foreclosures. If it's a condo, that the HOA is warrantable, these different aspects. Again, doing that due diligence prior to actually getting the offer in and prior to the process beginning so that we can know that you're covered. So the best way to go about this is, even if this is on the top of, the smallest chance that you may want this coverage, obviously, who wouldn't want it, just go ahead and get approved with us. That's the part that kind of takes the longest. Once we have the approval, the collateral check is very, very quick. So Matt will go ahead and put the contact info for me. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer them. I know it can get a little bit confusing, but essentially what this means is if we go through all those checkpoints at the beginning, 1, you're verified approved with us. That gives you the confidence shopping already. 2, the property that you're putting is actually going to get approved by a lender. And 3, your same rate, your same monthly payment, your same closing costs are going to stay the same. So to give a brief example, if the appraisal came back $10,000 lower than that, you're not going to have to bring any extra money, and we're not going to change your monthly payment since we covered you and certified you prior to that. So all of your terms will stay the same. Just to be clear, we are not covering that gap. We're doing our due diligence and work on the back end, absolving that risk in order to make it work in terms of keeping those rates the same.
That's a very powerful program in today's market where the prices are kind of all over the place. I know in several neighborhoods where I've got listings, the price ranges are kind of all over the place, and I'm concerned, genuinely concerned about how that's going to affect the appraised value once we do get under contract. But very powerful program.
Yeah, exactly. And both of these programs really do, it's an emotional transaction. This is, regardless if it's your first time buying the home, there's a lot of pieces of anxiety that happen with these transactions. So we want to go ahead and mitigate that for the buyer. And that's the biggest aspect. So instead of, biting your nails, what is this appraisal going to come back? We're covering it. Oh, biting your nails, what is my rate going to be when I finally get an accepted offer? Our CEO, Greg, is really, really trying to solve these problems. When there is a trend that we're seeing that is not in the favor of buyers, he's really, really trying to fix those. So that's why we consistently are coming out with these different products and, really being a chameleon and making that work for the buyer in terms of just having their best interests. Same with the agent. Like I said, we all have the same goal in mind, and that's saving money and getting to the closing table and hopefully getting someone their dream house.
Perfect. If you have questions, drop them down below. I will also in the description have all of Danielle's information, her contact information for her team. They are phenomenal at responding very quickly to any questions you have. So I can attest that they will get back to you, very quickly.
Exactly.
Danielle, thank you so much. Is there any last words of wisdom you want to share?
No, it's always a pleasure. I'm going to go ahead and share your agent referral link so you can post it under there. So if anyone does want to start an application, we'll know it's linked to you.
Perfect.
I'll give you my contact info. Like I said, text or call me. We're happy to answer any questions, no matter how small they may be.
Awesome. Thank you again, everybody. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Much.